Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm Director of Connected Design, but also today I want to take you through my house, which is actually a hempcrete house in Marrickville, which I designed and was built by Nick Soden of Soden Building Constructions. The existing house is a 2-bedroom house with a small office and a bathroom. It was actually quite a lovely house with a great aspect to the backyard, but we were a family of 4 and we needed another bedroom at minimum. So we decided to extend and go up. We didn't want to lose any more of our backyard. And so we added a master bedroom with a small dressing room, which actually is another little office, which proved to be very valuable during COVID times. And then we have a rumpus room, which is really important space to us because it functions as a TV room, a yoga studio, a sewing room, a piano room, and a fold-out bed for when guests stay. So it really is our multi-purpose space, and just a very small bathroom. Downstairs, really open plan, new kitchen, dining, TV room, and that opens up onto a deck. Starting with the process, the DA was a bit tricky because we had a lot of controls from council as if the house was heritage or even conservation zone, and so we needed to hide the second-story addition behind the original cottage, which is quite tricky. So we have a little hip at the front and then a box gutter that separates our then new addition. We set back the windows on the northern facade up in the rumpus so that we could get the lovely warmth of light in the winter months, and then, you know, all through the build we've got overhangs to protect the windows from the sun in summer. We really love the outdoors, and I in particular love gardening. The garden has different pockets of use, but also relating to, I suppose, their climate. We have a green roof which is out from the master bedroom on the first floor. The reason I wanted a green roof is because I didn't want to look out onto ColourBond roof sheeting, and also I wanted to be able to feel like we were in our own little lush haven. The benefits of green roofs is that they provide habitat, so we get all sorts of insects and birds that come up onto that space, but also it provides cooling to the level down below. The building doesn't get as hot as it would have if it was a ColourBond roof. The building materials we chose on the build started off with recycled bricks, which we found plentiful on the building site, which we scrubbed and cleaned and used for the base. It's a timber floor construction, elevated because we're in a flood zone, and also a very simple standard stud stick frame construction that everyone would know. But what's unique about it is that we wanted to use hempcrete. I've been a fan of hempcrete for about 10 years, and being in the building industry, it's very hard to find materials that tick all the boxes that you want, that have the journey of where does it come from. And in this case, we were probably unlucky because our hemp came from France because of COVID, but normally our hemp would come from places like Dungog, 100 kilometres north of Sydney. I like hemp because it's an agriculture product. It is easy to construct, so I spent 5-6 days with some volunteer help building our walls, and its thermal performance is high. Obviously, the thicker the wall you get, the better the performance. In our case, our walls were 200 mils thick, and the other thing that I like about it is the vapor permeability and breathability which comes with hemp. So we have had no mould, and I can say in our house before we renovated, we always had mould. We always had clothes covered in mould, shoes that were grey from just being in cupboards, and I think the building material has helped enormously. Obviously, we now also have better exhaust systems from our range hood, from our bathrooms, better windows, but I think the hempcrete's definitely made the biggest impact. On the outside of the hempcrete, we battened the wall and we've used WeatherTex cladding. One of the reasons was because we wanted the house to look like the front, like the original cottage, and we also didn't want the look of a rendered wall, but in most instances you could actually just use a lime render on the outside of the hemp. I used the south side of the building as a service corridor. We clustered the bathrooms and the kitchen together so that they were close together to the hot water heat pump. The heat pump tank sits there with the condenser units. We've also got the condenser units of the reverse cycle air conditioning units. We've got the rainwater tap and its pressure valve, and the tank itself is actually located in the back. We've got rear lane access in the garage. It's a charge line. That rainwater goes through a filter and into the house for all the toilets, which is 2, and the washing machine, and it's used for garden water use. The house is all electric, which means that we actually remove the gas from the site. We have solar on the north-facing roofs on the first floor addition, and we also have solar panels on the west face facing the street. Currently, we use our appliances as best we can during the day while the sun is shining, and I really am quite of a geek. I love my app. I'm constantly looking to see how our energy is varying on day by day, whether it's raining, whether I can turn on the oven, the dishwasher and the clothes dryer at the same time. It's hard to believe that we've now been living in the house for 5 years. It's been an incredibly joyful 5 years because it's so comfortable, and I really love the texture and the feel of the hempcrete, and there's something about the sound and the way the space holds you, whether it's the thickness of the walls and the depth of the reveals or the texture that we decided to keep with the render, but there is a real natural feel of the space. It's a very small house, but yet I think that we worked it well, that we didn't go for enormous rooms. We went probably for smaller rooms that provided a lot of variety and use. We've had several sleepovers with 4 or 5 kids at a time, piano playing or guests staying. We've got little pockets for working from home. We've got the home office, but yet it's only a 120 square metre building. We open it up when we're entertaining, but we can close it up when it's a cold day. I think it's been a really great journey, and I think made well too, because we had a very good builder who worked with us along the journey.